Every day there's a new level of nuts, a new level of insanity, a new level of my inability to explicate, to describe, to limn just what's going on. Not just regarding Candace, not just regarding Tyler, not just regarding Charlie, but now because of the world and this movement of what can only be called the evil. My friends, today is going to be one of the most incredibly fact-packed, issue-oriented, a veritable cacophony, a melange, a pastiche, a myriad, a mosaic of everything, up to and including Turek syndrome, basically saying things that will lead invariably, I hope not, but as you can understand, to harm to Candace. Basically telling people, threatening people, and using vague and out of context references to the Old Testament to, in essence, warrant some type of violence towards our beloved Candace. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? Well, I am not. So sit back, get ready, but first, this. Well, midterm elections are coming. Control of Congress is on the line. And if there's one thing financial markets hate, it's uncertainty. Between now and election day, we could see serious volatility in the markets and the economy. And you owe it to yourself and your family to have a plan. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. Listen to me. For more than a decade, Noble Gold Investments has helped Americans like you diversify with physical gold and silver. They make the process absolutely simple, straightforward, and secure. And for America's 250th, Noble Gold is celebrating by sending you a free 10-ounce U.S. independent silver bar when you open a new qualified account. Just mention Lionel. That's Lionel. Call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit the special Noble Gold Investments Lionel link below. Election day is coming. Don't let it arrive without a plan. And remember, there's always a risk of investment, and there's no guarantee of any kind. Religion is a wonderful thing. It's terrific. It has changed lives. It has redirected courses of failure and disaster. And it is something which, it's a very, very good thing. I've said this before repeatedly, that religion and faith is a good thing. And I know what is happening right now. There is an anti-Muslim reference that is going on. And it's very, very complicated. We'll maybe get to this later, but there's a very, very serious, dare I say, an exaggeratedly referenced Muslim attack so that people can continue promoting our Middle East policies in Israel. You see how that works? Just very briefly, it is okay for us to continue this reference, this focus point, and everything that we're doing, throwing everything up to and including this latest, what was it, Reuters, that said, we don't have missiles. We have basically lost our, or have basically sold or given away our ability to defend ourselves in the course of this. So what's being done is, don't worry, this is an easy thing. This is important. This is necessary. Why? Well, because of those Muslims and those Islam. Look at this guy in Michigan. And I'm thinking, now, wait a minute. You've got a point there, but you're telling me that it's either or? Yes, we must do this because of the Muslims and Islamic and jihad and death to the... That's what you said about Iran. Yes, that's right. They're all trying to kill us. They're gonna kill us. Really? Yes. See what's happening? They're basically saying, no. This continue with this Middle East course. Where do you think this is coming from? Who do you think's behind this? See, Americans, not you, can do a one or the other. The great F. Scott Fitzgerald said, the sign and the indices of a great intellect are being able to handle two or more seemingly inconsistent thoughts simultaneously and not losing your mind. You've got to be say yes, this, but not this. It's very difficult to do. So let me just say that. In addition, okay, you put that over there. We're going to get to that in a moment. In addition, I know and you know that there are some wonderful people. Most of the people that we know in this country are Christian. By the numbers, nothing big, not exactly, but most people are faith-based. Most people are religious, or at least acknowledge to such, and most people are Christian. We always say Judeo-Christian, but it's Christian. It's just the way it is. That's the demographics. Thank you, my darling. That's the demographics. That's the way it is, and the way it always has been, and the way it will be. Now, but of that wonderful group of people who have been changed, and by the way, you may not know, you may not know this, depending upon your town or where you live, but I have known some wonderful Muslims and Jews and Zoroastrians even. I've known a couple of socialists that are the finest people. Really, I mean, seriously, they don't bother me. I might not agree with them. Not that they disagree, but I might not agree with them. It's just like sometimes I don't disagree with the French. I don't understand them. You see what I'm saying? But there is something that is happening sometimes, and you've seen this. And I'll show this. One of the most popular forms of mental illness manifestations is something religious. Repent now, you're going to die now, the end is nigh. Jesus, you've seen this before, and that in no wise indicates that the basis for this is insanity, but this manifestation, you see this all the time. And it's a very, very sad case. And I don't know why it is. It's very sad. There's something about this which is just, I don't know why this is. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but sometimes it just happens. Did you see this one very, very, very sad woman recently?
Hell forever. Apart from Jesus,
On a
we won't
plane,
make
no
it
less.
to heaven. But he loves you so much. Make him Lord. Repent of your sins.
Oh my God.
He's coming back very soon.
Yeah,
I pray
lady.
protection over this flight in
Okay.
the name of Jesus.
Okay.
Amen. Can you tell me what's going on? You can't just tell me to get my stuff and then not tell me what's going on.
They're saying, get off the plane, lady. You're scaring people.
Huh?
Just pick on your stuff, just follow me.
Let's go. Come
You're
on.
still not telling me.
Huh?
Still not telling me.
No.
Please don't feel safe with you.
They don't feel safe.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know the message of Jesus Christ was unsafe. Wow. Do I have any guns or anything like that? No, I don't. So freedom of speech is not safe? So if I said something else, would that be okay?
You're the one behind her. See that?
I'll
See,
tell
this
you what
is-
this is. It's called spiritual warfare. You know why? Yeah, because
Okay. See what I'm saying? No. I know wonderful people, you who would never stand up on a Delta or a Southwest flight and start reading from Ecclesiastes and scaring the living bejesus, pardon my French, out of people. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. Not that Christianity's crazy. They're crazy. Some people hear voices. Not that listening to people is crazy or voices are crazy. You see what I'm saying? How can something so wonderful, how can something so pleasant and pleasing and directionful and direction-oriented sometimes manifest itself on the part of people who are out of their minds? What are you going to do? Well, to prove that point, you get this guy. And listen to Turek's syndrome.
That's what evil does. It degrades something good. And that's what Satan does. In fact, what did What do the apostles and Jesus?
Okay, let me stop right there. Let me just say this is a very, very serious problem. One of our friends says being a Christian is nothing to be ashamed of, or proselytizing is self-elevating one's ego. Yes, not in planes. Not in planes. Before I begin, I want everybody to understand that scares people when somebody stands up and announces anything. The Declaration of Independence, the Notre Dame fight song. People get very scared. Not a good idea. Not a good idea to stand up in planes and recite about Jesus. And it's not because the subject matter is crazy. Is that why is somebody yelling this on a crowded plane? Again, you see what I'm saying? Let's not pretend like we don't know what we're talking about. This is nuts. This is nuts. But feeling that, because some people get very upset, go, what's wrong with that? No. Now, if somebody stood up with a turban or a burnous or a hijab, that wouldn't be tolerated in the least, even though it could be interpreted, even though it might have been the most benign passage. Okay, you got that? See, this is putting it into perspective. Now, let's look at what this guy's saying. This is Frank Turek, doctor. By the way, I like the way he kept his shop class glasses. You know what I mean? He figures he was working. He was in the shop class doing woodwork. And I'm going to keep my glasses, which is okay. Kind of makes you say something. It's kind of like when you feel like Norm Abrams from This Old House. You know, I'm going to put my shop glasses on. So he said something here, which is an incitement, a directive, and something which countenances and provides for the immediate violence or worse to Candace Owens. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that is the case. He's going to say, no, I'm just quoting verse. I'm just quoting the Bible. Okay, let's see about this. Okay. A dear friend of mine says, Betty, by the way, says, I have to pray not to be scared these days. Oh, you got a real reason to be scared. Oh, no. And by the way, being scared is a very good thing. Scared, by the way, does not mean that you're paralyzed. Scared means that you're frightened. Some of the greatest examples of battlefield intrepidity and valor were people who were petrified, scared out of their minds, but they acted. They didn't freeze. They're afraid. Fear not, fearing. Fear not, fright. Fear not, being afraid or scared. Sometimes if you're not, that's crazy. The biggest animals, the most dangerous animals will run from you. If they see you, like, what the hell's that? They say, you're a lion. I know, but still, what is that? It's an old lady. They don't know. They leave. They retreat. They will not engage you. They don't unless you have threatened them. This guy comes out of nowhere. And if somebody said, explain who Frank Turek is, I'd say, another one of these arses from TPUSA. One of these, I don't know who these miserable people who apparently do nothing but slander, besmirch, defile, revile, and libel our dear friend, Candace Owens. This is all they do. This is all they do. They're the Ben Shapiro crowd. I don't know. I'm not trying to be stupid. I don't know what they do. What is the purpose? Somebody says, I'm trying to seek spiritual salvation. I'm going through some tough times in my life. And this son of a bitch keeps talking about Candace Owens. Is there anybody here who can help me? No, because these are frauds. And I got to say something. And I know this is terrible. This is terrible. And I don't mean to say this in Charlie. Wherever you are, my friend, I mean no harm. But you've got taste for shit and women and friends, with the exception of Candace, and people to run your organization. I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know if this was a blind spot. Did you not look at these people and think, what? This is the best you have? This is it? You couldn't see, with all due respect to your wife, I know she's a widow. Widow! You couldn't see this woman was a lunatic? Seriously. You didn't know anything? And who picked this guy? Who is he? I don't know who he is. He has Turek's syndrome. And I'm telling you, anybody who says, can I have those glasses? Those glasses there. Sir, those are in the shop. Those we give those out whenever you're using a skill saw. I like those. You like them? No. No, those aren't glasses. Those are safety. I'll take them. Can you put any tape in the middle? Okay. Now let's go through this very carefully. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's my nature. Let's look at this and parse this with particularity. Okay? Listen.
That's what evil does. It degrades something good.
Now let me also, I'm sorry. Enough with evil and demon. Now I know you know what evil is. I know what to me it is. And demons. Can we just lose this? When you when somebody is killing somebody, let's just say we have a serial killer. They're not committing evil. They're killing people. You don't have to call it evil. Evil is assumed. It's presumed. It is subsumed under the rubric of murder. It's evil. We know that. We're getting a little too evil and demons, and that's great, but it's real simple. Sometimes there are people who do stuff because they're just screwed up and they're mean. They're not even evil. They're not elevated. They're just screwed up. Now let's go back to the good pastor or whatever he is.
And that's what Satan does. In fact, what did the apostles and Jesus call Satan?
Okay, don't tell me. Here's what they said.
He's a murderer, a liar, an accuser, a slanderer who wants to steal, kill, and destroy.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm not a biblical scholar. I don't know. I'm not sure. Something tells me, though, that he might have made that up on the spot. I don't know. I'm not an expert. It's not my bailiwick.
Charlie was murdered. What have we
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
had since then? Lies.
Why do we have lies? What he's saying is, I listen to this, it's very interesting. And he's right. Listen to what he's saying.
Charlie was murdered. What have we had since then? Lies,
What?
Accusations, and slander.
Yes, against Candace and against you and all of us who have rejected this fantasy notion presented. Guilty as charged, sir. I don't believe this is evil or Satan because, sir, with all due respect, the official narrative that you have presented that Tyler Robinson is the lone shooter gunman is bullshit. Look that one up too. Bullshit. Caca del toro. Merde.
Lies, accusations, and slander seeking to kill, steal, and destroy. Or steal, kill, and destroy. This is spiritual warfare. This is demonic activity.
He should know. Now listen carefully. You're going to say, wait a minute. Where does the Candace part come in? Oh, as they say on QVC, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, I'm talking about Candace Owens. Yeah.
You son of a slimy, slithering, you reprobate. Who is this guy? You couldn't carry her jock, which makes no sense, but still, who are you? You are a parasite. A parasite, you and these other bunch of nattering nabobs of negativism, to use the alliterative term of it wasn't Spiro Agnew, it was in any event, you know what I'm talking about, the great William, anyway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You don't accuse people of murder without evidence, but that.
Who is accusing anybody of murder without evidence? And excuse me, you're accusing Tyler Robinson of murder without evidence. You, sir. I point the finger at you, sir. You. We have spent time after time, week after week. This is now what? We're going into the 11th month of this, and we have been incessant. Most great people from all walks of life, from every conceivable form, from military background and ballistics and hunting and criminal justice and you name it, to point out the lies, because there is an innocent man on trial. His name is Tyler Robinson. And using your own particular formulae that you have been able to propound, I think you, sir, are lying and prevaricating or whatever the hell you just said.
That's what she's doing left and right. She's insinuating it left and right. That's evil. In fact, in the Old Testament.
Evil to, but what? She's saying, Tyler Robinson. Let me say something for the record. And I hope you're listening right now. And if you're the first time, if you're welcome, please sit down, have some crumb cake, get to the front of the line. I'm saying to you right now, very, very simply, very, very critically, and very, very unequivocally, Candace Owens have never, ever, not once, either deliberately, by insinuation, or tacitly, or expressly, in any way accused in any way of Erica or any of you, Jadrul, specifically. When she points you out, this is what bothers you. She's pointing out your irregularities, your inconsistencies, the logical, the stupidity, the inanity, these elusive things you're saying. But nobody has said that. Candace has never said that. The only thing she has said is a lie, and namely that Tyler Robinson committed this murder. And he didn't. And we all know this. And we're trying to get to the bottom. And we're trying to save a man from being executed to cover for other more nefarious demons and satanic forces that you have yet to address.
Exodus 22:22 says that if you abused a widow or the fatherless, God says, I will hunt you down and kill you with the sword.
If you abuse a widow or the fatherless, what about the motherless or the widower or the orphan? It's funny. Again, I'm not a biblical scholar. I don't know what he's talking about. But why are you telling me that, Franco?
Deuteronomy 19 in the Old Testament economy says, if you accuse somebody falsely of a crime and you're found out, you get the penalty of that crime.
Think about that. Okay. Let me get this straight. If you, Frankie, you et al, et alia, if you, inter alia, among other things, if you and your cohorts, your co-conspirators in mendacity, if you can accuse somebody of a crime that's not true, namely Tyler Robinson, then you, by virtue of what you're saying now, and I'm listening to this, and I'm not as versed in the Bible as you are, you're telling me that I should do something? I should take up arms as God instructs?
So if you falsely accuse someone of murder and you're found out, you're the one executed.
So what you're saying to me, let me get this straight. Let me see if everybody understands this, that you and everyone from Erica, maybe she's a wife, she's different, Don Jr., the prosecutors, go down the list, cat, turd, and the usual people, and who's at the master debater, this jerk off, what's his name? All of these people who call Candace and derivatively us, I guess, psychotic and demonic. Oh, that word, everybody's a demon. So you, I say to you, sir, and I will smite you according to your admonition and your directive. So understand the irony of this. You're doing it. I know nobody gives a shit about Tyler Robinson because he looks like an idiot. Nobody cares. But what you're doing is he is one of God's creatures too. He is a child of God. And you've got him. You've got him committing a crime that can't be done. It can't be done. You have him killing somebody with a rifle that can't be shot, wasn't shot, no evidence of being shot, nothing. You've just picked him out and you have fallen prey to whoever are the dark forces behind this. You, sir, you.
Wow. If we had those laws today, it would shut down the internet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I'm looking at one guy who'd be shut down yourself there, Padre or Piker, Buddy, or whatever your name is. Think about what he's saying. Be very careful.
Because all we do is we have people accusing other people, insinuating innocent people are guilty for a crime they never committed. Without evidence. By the way,
Uh-huh.
That's why you need two witnesses in the Bible, right?
Oh, would you stop? The same thing with treason. Stop it. We do have two witnesses. We've got, how many witnesses do you have? How many witnesses every day? All of us, you, all of the people watching now, the people watching Candace, the people watching all these people, we're the witnesses. What about us? What do you have? You've got nothing. You've got grainy photos of God knows what. You've got a walking Rorschach test. Come on, man.
You need evidence. You don't falsely accuse people. So this is what evil does. It degrades, it slanders, it accuses, it lies.
Yes. And what you're saying by implication, and God forbid, some lunatic, somebody decides to stand up, maybe on a flight.
I don't like the name of Jesus.
See,
But it's not unsafe to talk about the gospel. I didn't know. Is that a crime?
Now, what if this lady, I'm sorry, this woman is batshit crazy, okay? If you don't know this, I hate to break it to you, okay? This woman is crazy. She's standing up on an airplane, and people are like, could I have the kettle chips, please? And who is this? Who is this woman? She's screaming about Jesus. She's nuts. Even Jesus would say, sit down. You're rocking the boat. What if this lunatic listens to Turek syndrome over here and gets the wrong message?
The law? Can you tell me that?
Oh, yeah. You got to be careful with this. This is called the law of incitement. And what is the law of incitement? This is something very, very interesting because we always hear this all the time. That people are making you, I'm making you do this. The seminal case, not the Seminole Indians, but the seminal case is Brandenburg against Ohio. 10 soldiers and Nixon coming. It says the government generally cannot punish inflammatory, hateful, or even pro-violence advocacy unless the speech crosses a very specific constitutional line. I want you to know this. It must be directed to inciting. I'm in mid-eructation here. Mid-borborygmus, pardon me. It must be directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and be likely to incite or produce the imminent lawless action. So that creates 3 practical requirements. Number 1, you have to intend or direct. The speaker must be urging unlawful conduct, not merely expressing rage or fantasy about abstract, approval or political extremism. Number 2, imminent. The lawful act must be contemplated as something essentially immediate. Not someday, not eventually, not under some hypothetical condition. And number 3, there's going to be a likelihood. Under the circumstances, the speech must be actually likely to provoke that unlawful conduct. Now, when you've got this guy standing up in front of people and saying to a lot of people who are very frankly demented, people who might be crazy, okay?
Is it? Can you tell us?
People like that, yeah. If you're saying that Candace is daring to besmirch or lie or accuse, and you're talking about God would smite or strike her down, what are you saying? If anything happens to her, you're basically telling crazy people, not people who are of faith, but people who take their faith incorrectly. This is the issue that is so frightening to me, so monumentally frightening. It is so disgusting to me. My friend Dognose says Frank is morally compromised, in my opinion. I don't know what he is. I don't think he's. He's one of these people who are trying desperately to get a part of this. Just can I weigh in here? Can I say something? Who are you people? No interest whatsoever in getting to the bottom of really who killed him. My friend Rick Parker says, Frank Turek played a significant role in my deconversion at the age of 54. Don't know what that is, buddy boy, but don't let that get in the way, okay? You, sir, just yank all the way to the bank. Don't know what that means, but I guess, I don't know what that means. And Zamet says, WTF, this doesn't warrant a visit from the FBI. Nothing ever does. Nothing ever does. Remember, even when people say terrible things about President Trump, FBI doesn't do anything under the pretext, under the supposed rule of Kash Patel? No. Or Secret Service for that matter? No. Ask what they did. Ask what Secret Service did at Butler. It's nuts. It's crazy talk. And what we're having here is more and more of this. And let me just give you an idea. There's I don't understand it. It's more, and then we get into these internecine battles. Have you heard our friend Valhalla VTF? Well, he apparently is going after a tactical testicle, whatever that Jadrul's name is. And now he's, as we say in West Tampa, empingado, which is also, this is classic professional wrestling. By the way, Dory Funk Jr. Died, I think today or yesterday. NWA champion. And I believe I saw him win the title against Gene Kaniski. I believe. But Dory Funk, brother was Terry Funk, Dory Funk Sr. Oh, great. Oh, my God. The spinning toe hold, those bolo punches. He and Jack Briscoe would go into these matches that were phenomenal. So we lost a great one in the world today of professional wrestling. So let me tell you where this goes. All this battle. Meanwhile, you've got these people, these interlopers coming in here, claiming to represent God or Jesus. And all they're doing is basically telling me that I should, according to the Bible, in their estimation, do something drastic in the event they were to say something. So Frank said the words yanking and banking, and it's a whole internet meme, a play on the words and yours. Interesting. Well, thank you for that. I'm so interested in that. But did you see this one? This feller, as we said, took great umbrage at Mr. Practical Testicle, or whatever his name is, for the following reasons.
We're going to call all of this. Let me give some context, because what Gary decided to say on Twitter today is that none of this happened. So Gary.
This man, by the way, this man has a lot of weapons. He has tattoos, his hat backwards. He always exposes his arms, and he looks like he's ready to go violent immediately. He just looks like he wants to get extremely, he wants to, you know what I mean? I don't know why you would want to engage this man, but apparently Practical Testicle, or whatever his name is, decided he's going to do it. So here's what happens. Let's listen to his particular admonition. He seems a tad miffed, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm right fucking here, buddy.
Hey, wait a minute. Now listen, I'm sorry for this. Pardon the language. These are his words, not mine.
You remember, let's talk about this. Let's say this publicly, because Nate never talks about this shit publicly, but let's go ahead and talk about it. You said I'm a liar.
What?
Gary, you said I'm a liar.
You did.
But you don't remember when the first time you decided to talk shit about me on Twitter and I fucking called you up privately because I'm a real fucking man. I'm like, your little cuck bitch ass, you little fucking pussy. What you...
Now, let's please remember, I in no way do I countenance this particular type of behavior, this language, this coprolalic, this vile use. But this is what was said. And but I do think it indicates, it provides a certain level of an indicia of the degree of upset that this man is feeling at this particular point.
Did when I called you up, do you remember? And I said, Gary, why the fuck are you talking shit about me outside of nowhere?
What?
Gary?
What did
Gary, you're
say?
going to see this too, but I'm done. I'm done with your bitch ass, all right?
Yeah.
You said, what'd you say?
When
I called you up and I said, what's your fucking problem, man? Why are you talking to me? I'm so sorry, Nate. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's not the way I meant it. It's completely misrepresented. I respect the shit out of you.
Man.
Over the top apologies. You remember that, Gary?
Wow.
I remember that. But now you're saying that that's a lie. Well, that's not a lie, is it, Gary? And so, Gary, if I'm so fucking sick and tired of you talking shit about me.
Let me stop right there. Seriously. And you wonder why I don't find this fascinating. I know this is rough stuff, and I don't know if I want to go on anymore with this, but I didn't know it was it. But what I'm saying is, do you wonder why I find this so just the people involved? You've got these demented people pushed out there. Gary Practical Tactical, whatever his name is, he decides to take on Mr. Valhalla here for reasons that nobody can really figure out why. This is what's so great about this. Because everybody's kind of losing their minds. You have these folks who, they get after it. And do you ever hear Candace ever lose her mind? No. Ever lose her sense? No. Do you ever hear her, whoever cursed? Never. Nay. But sometimes a mild little expletive here and there. After all, we are adults. In the middle of the night when you stub your toe, you don't say "dag nabbit." What does that mean? What is a dag and what is a nabbit? Now, why are you nabbing the dag? In any event, but this is where we are right now. It is phenomenal. It is this. Have you seen Carrie Prejean? Her the stuff she's after. It's wild. And then you have these other folks who are coming into this whole thing. People who, for the longest time, said, "I don't know what's going on." Hang on. I want to show you one that you are not going to believe. Okay, you're not going to believe. Wow. Look at this. We'll talk about this in a moment. Just a minute. You're going to love this one. Wow. Let me just jump to this one. Every now and then there's a move, as you know, from the world of people to throw things out. And one of the biggest names, and this is nothing, I came across this. I don't even know how the hell I came across this, but this is insane. One of the biggest, loudest voices is Dennis Prager. You know who Dennis Prager is? Dennis Prager, PragerU, proud Zionist, moral, what am I trying to say? Moral pole star, so to speak. It's really something. It's a very interesting story. He, believe it or not, is he had some problems recently where he slipped and he's paralyzed, and we wish him obviously the best. We want him to get better. But I want you to listen to what he said. This I haven't even heard. My wife hasn't heard this one. I hope she doesn't hear this one. She's gonna go nuts. This guy Prager he was okay. Listen to this.
Poor substitute, but it is a substitute. If
he's talking about having computer, either computer CSAM, child sexual abuse material, or I hope it's computer generated. But listen to what he's saying.
A poor substitute, but it is a substitute. If that were the case, no child is being used. Yeah. It's all animated.
This is the old argument, by the way. This is about whether, and it goes back, and there was a huge Supreme Court case about this, big, about whether it was, what was his name? Anyway, it was about the use of, and this is before AI, but the use of CGI forms of animated or pretend activity, which would be obscene or would be illegal if it were real. And the Supreme Court at that time said, no, it is not subject to prosecution because it's not real. But listen to this man of God.
Yeah.
And he.
But would you use the word evil of animated child pornography? Because I certainly would.
No, I would use evil only with behavior.
No, this is where he wants to go. This is where he wants to go. Honestly,
that's where we might differ. Yeah. Forgetting the sex issue, you can't be evil. You didn't do evil if you thought evil.
Okay, let me see if I can do this again.
If I'm masturbating to animated pictures of pornography, I'm not doing something evil.
That's correct.
Yep.
This is Dennis Prager. This is holier than thou. This is the guy who wants America basically to either adopt Israel, which some might want, as a 51st state. Why would you even get involved in this subject matter?
I think that's despicable. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Who is being hurt? You have to have a victim.
Oh, I'll tell you, there's at least two people being hurt. There's the person who's poisoning himself by encouraging him to think, acting out on children. And there's also the animator.
Okay, wait a minute. We both are aching for him not to have those fantasies. I agree with you, but
you won't call it evil.
I won't call a fantasy evil.
Now he's stuck. This is a guy who says, what were you thinking? I feel it's very, very sad. He's paralyzed now. He fell, and I don't wish that on anybody. But isn't this incredible? This is nuts. You've got grown men calling each other and saying, "You're a liar." You're now listen. I know it's like, but come on. Are you do I fit into this world? Do I fit into this world? I was going to tell you about this case I saw. Prager was suing somebody, was suing a hospital or something. I mean, that's horrible. That is just horrible. Dennis Prager, grateful for miracle after spinal injury. I think he is detailed. Yes, he has a C3, C4 vertebrae. Paralyzed, suing. Did you sue a hospital? Oh, yes. Right-wing talk shows sues hospitals over medical malpractice. He's accusing Cedars-Sinai of failing to turn him after a serious fall in the bathroom, leading him to develop a life-threatening bed sores, decubitus ulcers. Very horrible. Now, I've got to tell you something right now. This is the thing which I'm sorry. I got to tell you this. This has been the subject that I have been through forever about whether you can prosecute ideas. Prosecute them. Should you prosecute? If somebody were to write a story about something horrible, should you prosecute? No. Prosecute. Now, if I could move myself into the realm of religion, into the world of God and Christ and purity, I think if you were to say, excuse me, I think God or Jesus, again, please forgive me. I'm not trying to traverse. This is not my area. But I think Jesus would say, I do not appreciate this. Snap out of it. If this is an obsession, let me see if we can work on this. But this is not good. This can be a sin, even though it's just a thought. If I spend my time thinking about harming people, hurting people, killing people, and stuff, you don't think Jesus, God, or anybody would say, what is the matter with you? I know you're not doing this. But, put it this way. Do you think God would or Jesus or anybody would mind if you hated people, hated black people, hated Jews? He'd say, yes. Yes. Don't you think God? Well, I'm not doing anything. That's just an idea. You don't think Jesus would say, but you're hating people. Hey, Jesus, give me a break here. It's just an idea. That's my point. Somebody said right now, remember the case of the cannibal cop. This was an individual who was fired over fantasizing. Remember, criminal prosecution is one thing. But religion? I don't understand this. I don't understand any of this. It is the wildest stuff I have ever heard. I don't know how this thing works. Let me see if I can explain this to you. On a different note, the reason why this is so interesting is we have so many people, and please, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. We have so many people involved in this matter of Candace and Tyler who fancy themselves as being the last word on pious or religious or good or whatever the particular word is. They fancy themselves as being good. Okay, fine. These are some of the most screwed up people I have ever met or seen in my life. I don't frankly understand them. Here's one for you. You know what's funny? Somebody said before, I wonder what happened to. I know this is ridiculous to say this, but there was a guy online on X called Cat Turd. I thought it's pretty interesting. It's kind of remember when MAGA was like, Trump, and he was good. And then all of a sudden, he just started spewing stuff about Candace. Like, why do you care? Why would you, first of all, why does the Tyler Robinson case mean so much to you? Not the Charlie case, but why does the Tyler Robinson case mean to you? Why do you have such a connection in those people who want to find Tyler Robinson not guilty? Let me show you these two. These two, this came up. Again, I just want to show you, because I was watching this today and I'm thinking, if you can understand them, these are people who are trying desperately to be something, either conservatives or whatever the hell that means. Watch these two.
When you say that these are indications that President Trump is resetting the world order, and the implication of that.
Look at this. Look at first. This is Liz Wheeler. I think isn't that Liz Wheeler? Yeah, Liz Wheeler and Glenn Beck. Now I don't know what the hell they're talking about. She lately has been. I can't say I don't really follow her that much. Now watch this. If you can figure out what he is saying, it's very, very simple. If you can figure out what he's trying to say, I don't know what to tell you. I can't really give you anything. You have my admiration. Listen to this.
Donald Trump is changing the new world order entirely.
Now, how is Donald Trump is changing the new world order? That's true. Now, I'm not anti-Trump. I like Trump. What he's doing, the policies, the people around him, maybe a different story, but he's changing the new world order. Okay, yeah.
Entirely, and it won't be fully understood for probably another 5 to 10 years.
Now, that's not good. We don't have a lot of time. Most people don't say, now I'm doing something that's good. We're going to be doing something. I'm going to ask you to do this surgery. It seems rather drastic, but you won't notice it for 5 to 10 years. But trust me, you may not see it right now, but later on you will say, I'm so glad I got it. But those 5 to 10 years will be holy hell.
That on top of he says it's over $20 trillion of investment. Let's just say it's 10 trillion. $10 trillion in building new factories here at home.
Really?
So we are making things again with AI, with the rebuilding.
With AI, we're building things with AI. Oh, I know who's paying you.
Factories with the dominance of energy and oil. I'm sorry, gang, but the world doesn't work without real energy, without gas, LP, and oil.
Dominance of oil. The Strait of Hormuz is shut down. It was open before. The Bab el-Mandeb is also going to be shut down. The Houthis are basically going after Saudi Arabia in the Red Sea. Yeah, we're hit into our critical petroleum reserves for how much? What is he on the payroll too?
With controlling the choke points, getting out of the Middle East, hopefully,
getting out of the Middle East. You just lost your ticket there, my friend. Getting out of the Middle East. Whoa. Wait a minute. Whose side are you on? You just did it. There goes your meal ticket, if that's who was paying you. Because I don't even know what he's saying. You're against the Middle East and you're for Trump, but what?
This works. He's completely redesigned the entire world.
That's true. That's true.
He has made a bigger impact than any other president, maybe since Lincoln.
Now that's good too, but you know what? Impact is not necessarily a good thing. Let me get rid of this. Is good thing. Impact. Do you hear what's going? Do you hear this? Do you hear this world of gobbledygook? What does this mean? And these people are paid for what? I have no idea. I'm not done yet. Are you enjoying this? I just love this stuff. I just say, what? This is my show. My show is called What the Is He Talking About? This is it. We used to have this great Irish pub. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It was the neighborhood guys and Hell's Kitchen guys, and they would come in and they'd get a load on and we sit there and say, what are they talking about? Repeating themselves. And I always want to say, I'm going to do a show called What are they talking about? Well, this. This is even better. But wait, it gets more. This is my favorite. One of the biggest jerks of them all. I mean, a guy who is hands down, as we say in West Tampa, a come mierda. This is a coprophagist. For those of you who are of any Cuban, a comimienta is like it means somebody who consumes, but it just means somebody who's just an idiot, just an a-hole, just whatever. And Fredo is the best. You've got Salazzo, the brother. This is Andrew Cuomo, who killed how many old people? Because he had a deal with the hospitals, because the hospital union said, hey, we got to get rid of these people. Get rid of them out of hospitals. They're going to make more beds. Okay. So he moved in COVID people and said, move into convalescent centers and elderly care, and killed because their immune system, because COVID, there is SARS-CoV-2. It exists. And people with comorbidities, ooh. Plus, he was a lech. He went after women, and this guy's sick. Remember Andrew Cuomo? Remember Sandra Lee? Remember her? Remember the one she was on the TV Food Network, and she would make how to make how to get a dump cake and make it into whatever. I don't know what that was. But she had breast cancer or something, and they were boyfriend and girlfriend. He took off. He showed up, got his picture, and it's just a weird and a ghoulish. This is the brother Andrew, and he talked like this. He had this way of, I believe, the problem every day. It's like, what is this? He had an accent nobody could figure out. It's Queens. What? His father was Mario Cuomo. Oh, the stentorian, the greatest speaker of all time. My ass. But he would talk like this. And then during COVID, remember that, honey? The love gov. He would do these rambling daily exercises about, because people were so bored. Remember during COVID? You were so bored you'd watch anything. Hey, you want to watch the entire series of My Mother the Car? Sure. And you'd get DoorDash and watch stupid things because you didn't get out. Anyway, this guy had this thing where he would say, and I'm my daughter, and I make sausage and my gravy up and down, I believe. And I couldn't figure out. Well, anyway, that's the brother. That's the Democratic governor of New York, who, by the way, when it was so bad, when he ran from Mayor Mamdani, you had Eric Adams, who was mentally retarded. Then you had Curtis Lewa, who was a Republican, and the Republicans turned their back and wanted Cuomo. The Republicans of New York put a Democrat up. It's just, what? Anyway, say what you want about Curtis Lewa, and you can say a lot. He was a Republican. Okay. Now his brother, Andrew, is at Chris Cuomo. Remember Chris Cuomo? They shit-canned him from CNN. Chris Cuomo said, all of a sudden, I'm working out. Chris Cuomo took 50, 100-pound, I don't know what, dumbbells. I think once at 100. Don't hold me to it, at least 50. Behind the neck, tricep extensions at his desk at CNN. Yeah. And then we got into it. Are these fake weights? Do you know what 50, you're on the phone. Hello? Yeah. Listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Frank Zane. What? And then he was doing this thing where he says, look at me, I'm working out. Look at me. Grown men who show you how they can do push-ups. It's like, what's the matter with you? Then during COVID, remember this guy? He said, I'm underneath. I'm living in the basement of my Hamptons home, and I haven't been upstairs. Bullshit. People would see him out and about. This guy's just so full of shit. Have you gotten them? Okay, listen to this. And he's on with this dude. I didn't catch his name, but he's laughing throughout this thing. The dude on the right, maybe you know his name. I don't really know. I don't spend enough time worrying about names. I'm going to call him the dude, the feller on the right. He's just laughing at him. Watch this.
This guy just rigged the elections. He worked the immigration system. That's why he got through it.
Elon Musk. Let me just say something right now. Okay, let me say something. Is Elon Musk perfect? No. Is Elon Musk weird? Yes. Do you know how many kids Elon Musk has? He doesn't even know. Some people think he has like an island of kids. He doesn't even know. He has so many kids. All right, fine. He's the world's richest man. Remember when he had that kid with him all the time? X. his son X, always on his shoulder. You go, what the hell is that about? But it was nice. And then he did Doge. He did Doge for like 2 weeks. Remember that he came in and he said, he's sleeping on the couch. And we're bringing in our people. And they stopped Doge. And then SpaceX are doing whatever. All I know is he made X or Twitter free again. And I like him. He's not perfect. He's not perfect. But at least he's less crazy than the other people. You got what I'm saying? Am I coming through? Okay. Look at this jadrul on the left. What a jerk off. Look at him. Look at him. This is Fredo. And he hates it when somebody calls him Fredo. He hates it. So don't call him Fredo. Now, this fella on the right is just laughing. By the way, this is News Nation. This is the network that gets a little a higher, I think, viewership than people, I think maybe who were listening to baby monitors. This is great. Okay, now watch this.
Because he fraudulently got his way through.
Chris, you don't hear what the
I thought we're not election the Wisconsin election. So the Wisconsin election.
Watch him start laughing. Look at him.
Yeah, I haven't seen any federal cases against Elon Musk for election rigging.
Oh,
I've seen
so if it's not a federal case, it didn't
below
happen?
Mike Bloomberg's, below Tom Steyer's, both Democrat donors. So Elon Musk has donated a lot to elections. That's great. But don't forget this idea that Elon Musk has made money on politics. Elon Musk got decimated in his businesses because he got involved with Doge in the campaign. The National Bureau of Economic Research says that Tesla sales were down by 83% because he got...
Look at this. He's smelling his hand now. Look at it. See the face? See the face? He's making a funja. This is what probiotic looks like all the time. It's like he's trying to push a hockey puck out. You know what I mean? A little bit too much cheese, a little too much government cheese. He's like, I'll be in a minute. Come on, bear down, buddy. It's called a Valsalva maneuver. Look at him. Look at this guy. Why he's on, I have no idea.
Involved. That was tens of billions of dollars. We know that his X contribution to preserve free speech, he lost 75% on that.
It's also a crappy
He's
car.
lost a lot of money.
The Tesla is a crappy car. Okay. This guy has nothing. Look at this. Look at him. Look at me. I made him funny. Point to your chin, Fredo. Point to your chin. That baby. What a jerk.
It's also a crappy car. I had one. Okay. I think that's part of what's hurting Tesla also.
I
but
can't help
here's
but
what I'm
notice a
saying.
lot of people loved buying those cars until he got
They
into
love
politics.
This guy got through an immigration system that if he weren't a rich white guy from South Africa, he may be getting dragged out of his car at a traffic stop and getting his ass beat with people like you applauding.
See, this is where we are today. This is put people on and let them say whatever they want. Do you see where we're going? You see, this is, I love this. I feel like it's like I'm in a mental hospital, but they didn't tell me it was a mental hospital. I thought it was a mall or something. It's like I'm on Candid Camera. Remember Candid Camera, Alan Funt? Remember that? We take somebody and we put him, like I'm in a mall, and it's a mental hospital, and they changed it to make it look like it's stores, but it's a mental hospital. This is my whole world. I'm full of crazy people. I got this guy, Turek, saying, and if you lie, you're lying. Well, but if you accuse somebody of something, you're accusing somebody. Yeah, but that's different. What? Then I got Valhalla telling, and I called you on the phone, and you were me. You called me. Listen, if I'm a tough guy covered in tats and I've got guns, I'm not going to call somebody on the phone and say, and you called me and you apologized and you said I was a liar. Well, you're a liar and you're a poopy pants. Oh, yeah? This is not the way you talk to children. You've exposed their insanity by almost feeling sorry for them. And you know what he said to me? You're not going to believe this. Because you're better than them. You don't let people who are you're inferior bother you. You don't. You don't let people who are your intellectual, your inferiors bother you. You just don't do this. Candace doesn't do it. She just laughs. She has the best attitude. Oh, she gets mad, but I think not mad. She just gets, you know what I mean? Now, I got to tell you something too. This is the most important thing. This This is a story which I hope you understand. This is a story which I hope you grasp the irony of this, okay? Okay. First, there's a guy named Fetterman. You know this guy, John Fetterman? He is a senator from Pennsylvania. This guy was so stroked out or ataxic or whatever it was, he couldn't speak. Remember that? Hi, where am I? I mean, it was sad. I thought, oh my God. And he beat Dr. Oh my God. Dr. Oz. He beat Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, Oprah confidant, heart surgeon, Harvard scholar, cardiac surgeon, TV star, was beaten by a guy who had a series of strokes, who couldn't make a fist, tie a shoe, or knew where the hell he was. And he lost. They had debates that were like, you can't put a debate. They did it, and he lost. And Fetterman showed up wearing shorts and a hoodie. You think, no, this can't be. Yes, it happened. Yes. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe what I'm seeing. It was unreal. Okay. Since then, he recovered. He went from the worst. He never told you. You're probably wondering why I'm like this. Was this an implant? Did you have a head transplant? Are you the same guy? He couldn't, remember him? He couldn't say his name. He didn't know where he was. Some people get a little bit better, a little bit. God bless him. Good for you. But it was incredible. Then he went from wearing the shorts and the hoodie to wearing suits and speaking normally. Okay. Then he's a Democrat, but he became super Zionist or super Israeli or super Jewish, not Jewish, but super Israel. He made Bibi Netanyahu seem like, Louis Farrakhan in comparison. I mean, this guy, all of a sudden. So you went from stroke and shorts to clearly thinking, suit, pro-Israel. But really pro-Israel. Real. I mean, to the point where even Israelis said, dude, take it easy. Take it easy. All right. Then we have Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, come mierda. Another one. He was at the top of his game. Let me tell you the Daily Show was fantastic. It was before Trump. It was sort of left, but he picked the right stuff. He just picked. Do you remember when Stephen Colbert, when he was pretending to be kind of Bill O'Reilly, he was actually very good, great writing. It was so novel. And then this infection called TDS or whatever it was came in. Okay. But Jon Stewart was at the top of his game. Samantha Bee, who nowhere to be found now. All these people who gave jobs to, the fellow from The Office, and everybody, Colbert, John Oliver, all these people were from his show, and he was the paterfamilias. He was the primogenitor, so to speak, not the dauphin or the scion, but he was it. Trump's about to come in. Trump was a gift. A gift. What does he do? He quits to form a petting zoo with his wife or something in Jersey. I swear to God. And then he was the director of some Indian movie nobody saw. This is what makes you wonder about people saying, what is this? You fight, claw, get to the top, and you finally get it, and you quit. You've got a joke. Trump writes the script daily. You can just do this. So he quit. Okay. He goes away and he comes back and nobody remembers him. The young people today don't know who he is. He's hoary, Hoary, venerable, white with age, white, gray haired. and he has a beard, and he looks like he looks like my grandfather. Okay, fine. They don't remember who he is. He's trying to get back. Is he going to be on Apple? Is he going to do this? He doesn't know what he's doing. It's like you had your chance. Colbert did it. Everybody else did it. Okay. Cut to the chase. That was a very long intro. So now he's interviewing Fetterman. Now, as I told you before, what amazes me about this, people that I used to think that I wasn't too crazy about, Anna Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, a lot of folks, I'm thinking, when it comes to the Middle East, they are so spot on, it's not even funny. Because the left is making sense. And let me stop for a second. Do you know why all these, quote, DSA people, why that fellow Al Sayed, whatever, in Michigan won? Do you know why? Not by a lot, but do you know why? Because the left and a lot of people are disgusted by what they're to be, albeit with this country, basically handing over the keys to our military, our materiel, and potentially our men and women to fight a battle nobody wants. When Laura Ingraham, remember she was sitting behind Fauci making faces? What the hell was that all about? In any event, when Laura Ingraham says, we got to get out of Iran, I mean, it's a no-brainer. When Piers Morgan wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful of it. This guy doesn't know anything. But he finally said, okay, it's safe now. Even he's saying, I think we have genocide. Everybody, except Lindsey Graham, Sean Hannity, Bernie Sanders. This is nuts. This is crazy. Okay, long intro. Listen to this. And I'm thinking, Jon Stewart nails it. And Fetterman, watch him. He doesn't really believe what he's saying. He doesn't feel it. He doesn't grasp what he's saying. You understand it? He doesn't grasp it.
For you could agree with them 90%, but Israel is the red line.
Absolutely. Israel for me. Like I can't ever turn my back to Israel after where it's at. So,
and I mean no disrespect on this, but that is not our country. You're saying that these candidates may have great ideas for our...
Wait. You're missing something here. First of all, remember, the guy's got a suit on now. And he speaks clearly. And when they said, excuse me, and Jon Stewart nails it and says, excuse me, that's not, I don't know what to tell you about that, but that's not our country. Fetterman says, watch this.
Our country. Yeah. You're saying that these candidates may have great ideas for our economy. They may want to do the exact same thing you want to do in terms of getting money out of politics. They may want to increase the social safety net. They may want to change the balance of power from capital back to labor. But if they don't agree with you on Israel,
right,
you don't want them in your party.
Well, I don't know who you're referencing to specifically.
No, I'm referencing what you just said.
Name
so
one.
In other words, Syed or AOC or Bernie Sanders, I assume you agree with a lot of what they say economically.
And what I'm saying is, like, if you are a DSA member, if you are a member of a specific political party, run under your own banner. And now I think Bill Maher said something very insightful. He said, the DSA are colonizing the Democratic Party. So
he's changing the subject because Jon Stewart wanted to talk about Israel, but he doesn't.
Be Democrats if you're going to run under the Democratic Party for that. Why have a DSA party for
We're not
overall?
Talking about DSA.
So run on that, and you all understand.
It's just an organization. It's not. We have a two-party system. We don't.
Yes.
It's like the Freedom Caucus.
Yes.
In the Republican Party.
It's like the Libertarians, whatever the hell that means.
There are, there's Randy Fine and Ogles and all these nutbags that are also part of an area, and Republicans, I'm sure, may not agree with all of them on all kinds of things, but there is no other party. I guess you could try it, but my point is,
listen,
if you don't disagree with them on a lot of things, why not use some of that energy? And even like Mamdani in New York, is DSA, but there are things in the DSA platform that he disagrees with.
Yes.
And I'm assuming there's probably things in the Democratic platform that you might disagree with, but you don't disavow the entire thing.
Right.
You're literally saying we can all have discussions, except when it comes to Israel.
Did you hear this? Are you seeing this? This is the not the marginal line. This is what it's come down to. This is why this fella won in Michigan. This is what people are saying. Everybody's saying this. And here in New York, the number one reason, what they love about this Mamdani is not the fact he wants to do free buses, which is bullshit. There's no free buses. But it's this. And they won't listen.
Which is not America.
Yeah.
It seems like a weird line to draw.
Yes.
Well, so then, I don't think that's weird. I think what history demonstrates is that when people or a government or people turn their back to the Jewish community, things end really badly.
The Jewish community and Israel are not the same thing, brother man. They're not.
I'm letting John Stewart. He's the voice of yes. What's happening?
That is not the same thing.
No. It's like, hey, it's like if I have to pick a side for after 10/7 and after Iran, I'm always going to stand with Israel. I'm always going to vote and support whatever that's necessary to protect themselves and to prosecute Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran too. And the very left never said a peep after Iran executed 30 to 40,000 young people in there just for protesting for democracy.
You think that the left is pro Iran, not the country, but the regime?
What I'm saying though is like if anyone in the Democratic Party is fine with Iran building a nuclear bomb, I disagree with that person.
I think most people are. Again, I think you're caricaturing the issue, but I want to. Is there anything you would criticize Israel about?
This is where everything has changed. I mean, I want you to understand this. Everything. I don't know what I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking, I want to go out and say, are you listening? It's like there's a new music. It's like I don't know what the expression is, what the analogy is. It's like somebody who first heard the Beatles. It's like, do you know what this means? Do you know what's happening? You saw the picture. I was going to put the picture up of everybody at Tucker's place. Where they were sitting around this Massey and Kenton. Everybody. They call it the third party. I keep saying we need a second party. Everything's changing. Everything is drastic. This is something you might very well one day to be telling your kids about. And I want you to listen to this. This is wild. This is so interesting. First, something happened. Either the Charlie thing, I think it was maybe concomitant, simultaneous, maybe by happenstance. I don't know. But people came out of the woodwork. People for the first time said, hey, and they were, I'm not sorry. Candace pulled these people in. And they said, I like this. Okay, so we got these people in. So now we're here. Candace starts talking. People start talking. She's a conservative without saying conservative. She believes obviously in strong faith and religion and God and family. And you like her. And then Charlie came along and then absolutely hit a nerve. People said, I'm with you on this. Maybe the Brigitte Macron, that was interesting. But I don't think any of us really cared. So the guy's got a schwanz. So what? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it was whatever. But not like this. Because we saw Charlie cut down like a dog in the street. And she was the only one who said, wait a minute. And then the Pied Piper, she starts pulling in all these other people and they come out of the woodwork. the barons and the others and you and me and everybody. So now we're here. And there are people who are for the first time finding themselves, you know what? I'm really paying attention to something here. Which is something. Are you going to need this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got to get on with this. Oh, I got to get done. By the way, Commander says, what's worse, a libertarian straw man fallacy, the actual state of your Coke or Pepsi system? Ah, yes. So my friends, let me do this to me. My beloved has a very critical interview and not that this is a critical, but please follow her at Lynn's Warriors. I am so energized by this. You cannot believe it. So what I may do later on this eve, depending upon what's going on, let's pick this up. Are you game? Are you going to be around later on tonight? Are you going to be a game? Because maybe later this eve. So make sure you like the video, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos, and then we'll get to that later because I'm not even done with this. This is so huge, okay? And follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Follow her at Lynn's Warriors. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And by the way, thank you so very much for your kindness. Today was just terrific. All right, we'll talk about it later. Okay, remember? Do it later. I'm going to pick up where we left off because this is huge. By the way, we're going to catch Candace later in any event. So anyway, I'm excited. It was only an hour and 16 minutes. That's good. We have more later. In any event, my friends, remember, monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. That.